But I always tell people, that's why prenups exist too. Don't be afraid of prenups, because a lot of people run from them, but they can be set up exactly how you want them to.
Yeah.
There's no black and white with a prenup.
Right.
So, I always encourage men, if you are scared of marriage and you want it, just do a prenup.
Yeah. So you'd be cool with signing a prenup?
I'll be okay with it because what I would probably put in it is what I came into the marriage with is mine, and then whatever we create in the marriage is ours.
Split.
I mean, it makes sense.
Easy.
So I don't have to get half of your stuff or whatever. But if we created this business, then it's half.
Yeah.
And I may put, just depending on whatever else we agree on. If I have kids, maybe I would say something like, if I have a majority of the kids, you may contribute, whatever.
Yeah.
But we would structure it to where it would make sense for everybody.
So listen to the play-by-play, day by day.
Well, this may or may not be the last episode I do in here, so let me start by saying this is a pleasure.
Yeah, this is a pleasure of you inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Finally got out here, right?
Yeah. You was harder to reach than the president at one point. But
I ain't gonna lie, like, not even trying to sound funny, but my DMs be like overflowing. So it's like it gets pushed down. So it's not that I forget. It's just like I'll have 50 other DMs and I'm like, shit, I forgot to respond.
No, I completely understand. It be happening to me sometimes too. Like a lot of people reach out to try to get on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not interviewing all y'all. Like when I first started, I wanted to get any and everybody on, but I mean, if I go to your page, and no shade, it's not even about the followers, but you got 1,000 followers, you got 4 posts, and like, what can I do with that? You know what I mean? Like, at least
it gotta
match
make
me.
sense.
Your DMs, what do they be? Since there's so many, like, is it business, personal, like?
I would say it's probably 65% personal.
Yeah.
And the rest is probably business.
10 out of every 10 personal DMs DM'd your way, how many actually get a genuine response?
Ooh, that's a good question. Not a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. So I'm a double tap person. So I'm gonna show you love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna double tap. Like, if you be like, oh, nice pic, or you look beautiful, or whatever it is, or, I'm just gonna double tap. I may not leave you on red, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really gonna interact. Because think about it. I get 50 of those. I'm not about to interact with every single person that DMs me.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. People think they know you because they follow you.
Yep.
And so when they continuously interact with you, like sending you emojis and I double tap, they start to think that they know you. And I'd be like, you don't know me though. Like,
yeah. And well, first, let me start by saying, like, I don't think a lot of people realize how many DMs a woman gets a day. And so
crazy.
It's a lot. So let alone a pretty woman like yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you got to come with something different.
Exactly.
Not what's like the typical type of DM you get from a dude that's trying to shoot his shot?
Flames, hard eyes. Can I take you out? Can I ask you a question? I don't got time to respond to that. Like, what is it? Get to the point,
Yeah.
But it's a lot of shooting they shot. They definitely gonna try it. But again, I just, quality over quantity. I can't entertain everybody.
So does it matter more so what that person says or what the person looks like?
I mean, if we being real, I'm gonna go to the page and I'm gonna see what you look like. You gotta look like something.
Right.
I ain't about to just respond, especially if I don't know you. That's the only thing I have to go off of first is the physical. So if it ain't there and you ain't talking business, you ain't talking money.
Right.
You ain't really got nothing to talk about. Double tap.
Yeah. That's like the whole sexual harassment versus flirting vibe type thing. Like, if it's Flavor Flav, it's sexual harassment. If it's Idris Elba, it's flirting.
You know what? That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. And it's like, I mean, we can't help it because men do it too. You can have a booger wolf, in your DM or texting you that you really don't like. But that same dude that you like can do the same thing and you gonna let it fly,
And we subtle. We ain't even doing all that lovey-dovey like the person that's really trying. We ain't even doing all that because, you know what I mean? We know what it is. A booger wolf.
I got that term from Ty Dolla $ign.
Okay, a booger wolf.
He used that in a song a long time ago. Yeah. And I thought it was hilarious. So I always use it.
So one is So I'm from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
A little term we got for like a chick that's Schwebby is like a chick that's like Schwebby. That's like a big and ugly chick. Schwebby. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you messing with a Schwebby.
So she big. Schwebby is big.
Big and ugly.
Dang.
But I love all women. Let me say that.
I hear that.
I love all women that are pretty on the inside, 1st and foremost.
Okay.
Now, as far as liking, yes, you got to be physically some type of way.
Yeah.
Got to do some type of working out, something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just goes with that.
I feel that.
Booger Wolf. That sounded like a country term. Where are you from?
I'm from Charlotte.
From Charlotte.
I'm from here.
That's what's up.
I'm born and raised, a little unicorn.
Yeah, I was ready to say it's like rare.
Yeah, it
at
is.
this point to run into somebody that's from Charlotte.
It is. Everybody coming from New York.
I was ready to say that. Yeah.
And up north and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm from here.
That's what's up. Good. So what's it been like seeing the transformation in Charlotte
crazy
over the years?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, it's nothing like it used to be. It looks totally different. They used to call it the mini Atlanta, but now, I really do think we're competing now. Like it's no longer a joke anymore.
Yeah.
Like legit, we got a new lounge opening every week, new restaurant. Our vibes here are a little different now. Like I'm a rooftop girl. So like summertime, I mean, we got rooftops for days.
Galore.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're beautiful. Grand Bohemian is one of my faves.
That's
and
so dope. Yeah.
the other thing I did here too, Charlotte has great food, and we do. I'm a foodie.
Okay. I hear like half and half on that.
What you think about the food?
Honestly, I think the best food comes from places and people that ain't even from Charlotte.
Okay.
It's usually like food trucks or a food spot that's from wherever or different ethnic type foods. Like I have yet to find a true Charlotte staple that's like, yo, this is a must try.
Yeah.
The one everyone kept talking about was Price's Chicken Coop.
And it shut down.
Yeah, the year I moved out here, I did try it. And then like a week later it shut down.
Dang. Yeah, the lines was crazy. Out the door, down, I mean literally down the sidewalk.
Yeah. I was walking my dog. I had to like tie her to a pole and ask a homeless dude to watch her for a couple of dollars.
Really?
It worked out though. But that's like as far as the food, any spot I can really think of is usually somewhere that's not from Charlotte.
Yeah.
What are some, if you could put me and the people on just like some Charlotte staples that are like, okay, this is a Charlotte born and raised food location that is a must?
Now that's hard, but I will say, what's the Mr. Charles? Have you been there?
I've been to Mr. Charles. Is that the one on Graham Street?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been to Mr. Charles. They were good.
He has a couple of locations.
Okay.
But as far as like just like Charlotte staples, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that when you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
But Charlotte definitely has some good spots. Like I eat good. Okay.
Okay.
When I ain't cooking, I eat pretty good.
Talk about it. Can you cook?
Can I?
That's what I like to hear. Talk
Yeah,
about
I
it
can
today.
cook. I need to cook more though.
Yeah.
My busy life honestly has me in the kitchen less and less. But your girl can cook and bake. So
that's good. That's good to hear because we're losing recipes out here tonight.
Yeah, we are. They ain't being passed down no more.
Nah. So, you know what I mean? So, all right, you can cook. So, if you are dating a guy and he asks you, can you cook? Do you feel some type of way about that?
No, honestly. I mean, to be honest, men like home cooked meals. I think we've gotten away from it because, again, a lot of women don't cook. So, it's not a norm anymore.
Yeah.
But men love home cooked meals.
Love
so,
it.
I think it's a plus.
Yeah.
You know?
And the reason I ask is because you'll see it a lot now where like a woman kind of gets offended when hearing that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe
They probably can't cook or maybe they had some type of bad experience or something. I don't know. But it don't offend me. Like, I'm like, yes, I can.
Yeah.
And if we get to that level, then I will gladly cook for you. You know? Keep your butt at the house.
Man. Oh, okay. So there you go. Look, that's a positive of doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you do have some weirdos here and there. A guy I used to talk to like years ago was the weirdest thing. Like I would cook and he would want to go eat out. It was the weirdest thing.
Even
he would
when you
never,
cook?
And he always would be like, Tenai, it has nothing to do with your food. Like I'm just so used to eating out. like I want to go eat out. Literally, we'll leave and go get food. I never understood that.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Especially for someone that can cook. Like, I'm intrigued to know, like, why exactly.
I never understood it, but honestly, that didn't last long anyway. But
Yeah, it sounds like it did.
yeah, your girl will definitely chef it up.
That's what's up. Yeah, I get ecstatic like if I'm dealing with a chick that can cook good.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean I cook good, not great, but only because I don't go down the great
Good.
road. I cook the same like 3 or 4 dishes. Like I eat chicken or salmon with brown rice and some type of vegetables and sweet potatoes like 5 days a week.
But you know what? That's why you got the physique.
Yeah.
Because you're eating that food that's gonna fuel your body. So that's not a bad thing, actually.
Nah.
Do you meal prep?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I kind of just go with the wind.
Yeah.
But even still, like I can eat a lot and it doesn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm actually trying to gain weight.
Oh, okay.
So like if I get with a chick that can really throw down and she likes to throw down and she likes to feed me,
Yeah.
shit, that can help me put on about
That's a
10
win-win.
pounds. Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel you on that.
I'm straight. Let me give you a proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in to the Day by Day podcast for your Day by Day broadcast. I'm your host, Day with an I, not a Y. And as you can tell, we're off to great vibes with this one because we are joined by host of The Tenai Show, host of Meet to Marry, Charlotte Edition. You can also catch her on V101.9 on Saturdays with B Notes. Shout out to Notes, that's the homie right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Tenai.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. And
we finally got here.
Yeah. But I mean, it seems to happen like that, like all the time. Anytime really, I can't think of any time where like a podcast, like I reach out to someone who's of substance, doing stuff out here, that it just pops up like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but most times, like, okay, let's do this weekend. Oh, this weekend ain't gonna work. I just think it makes it that much better when we actually do.
It does.
You know
It makes sense. That's why I was like, nah, I'm putting it on the calendar for Sunday. We in there. I appreciate it though.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for marking it on the calendar. So let's start with how you even got into the media space.
Ooh, going back in time. So I actually went to the best HBCU. Okay,
You went to Bowie State?
A&T.
Oh,
North Carolina A&T.
shout out Bowie State.
Aggie pride. So no, I went to North Carolina A&T in Greensboro, and honestly, I went into school with my major that I knew I wanted to do that. A lot of my friends changed their majors 2, 3, 4 times, but you were one of them. Oh, okay.
I was ready to say it's either sociology or psychology that they
so they graduate.
Yeah.
But now I went into media there, and the dope thing about it is we had a radio and TV station. So my very first interview was Lloyd Banks and Megan Good. Like, whose very first interview is that? Right.
Yeah, that's
so
tough.
it was only up from there.
Yeah.
Like, so every interview, I just remember it was like, I had such a great experience with media at A&T because of everybody that came through there. So do you remember Think Like a Man?
Yeah.
I remember they came through there. So it was Terrence J and,
wow.
a lot of different people. The producer, they came through there, talked, we interviewed them.
Yeah.
And like Lloyd Banks dropping an album. So they would come through A&T to promote. So there, it honestly launched. I created a brand. And then after I graduated college, I continued that. And then I did Good Day Charlotte for like a quick minute here in
What's that?
Charlotte.
Good Day Charlotte?
It's TV.
Okay.
So it's like a segment on Sundays where it would do like an entertainment segment.
Yeah.
And honestly, just in between there, I've had my own brand, The Tenai Show, and I've interviewed, maybe over like 3,000, 5,000 celebrities. I can't even keep count anymore.
Wow, that's a lot. So it'll be like every week or multiple times a week?
It's been a lot of interviews. Wow. And then I've covered red carpets, BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, just, I've been in a lot of spaces.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey. So that's what's got me here.
That's what's up. Yeah, I've seen a lot of your content on the go.
Yeah.
Like the on the go street interviews, if you would. I know it's kind of taking over the content world in a different space now to kind of ask either how much you make and what you do or what's a red flag. But like the actual like red carpet type interviews that Yeah, that's a talent right
It
there to do
is.
that.
And it's fast paced.
That's very fast paced on the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You gotta kind of feel the vibe, and it
Mhm.
may be a question that you weren't prepped for, but you gotta ask this because
Right.
this just came in. You gotta go down that route.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they don't show what goes on behind the scenes of the red carpets, but
Mhm.
it is chaos. So
Really?
you got to know how to work in chaos as well. It's not like a controlled environment like
Yeah.
this. Like you have celebrities that's like their manager in the back. You got 10 seconds. So you know, you can't freeze up, can't get nervous, ask your question. And a lot of times I don't listen to the rules. No way. I'm going to ask that second question.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fast paced, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot. You see a lot.
That's what's up. So
Mhm.
what are some other, whether it don't even have to be just like the on the go type interviews, you can be like whether it's radio or like how
Mhm.
we're doing one-on-one. What are just some ways you approach interviews in general?
Yeah, so I think being prepared is always going to help you have a great interview.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get up there and you are interviewing somebody and you really don't know anything about them,
Yeah.
it's kind of awkward. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's like they want to feel important. So
Mhm.
make them feel important. So I think the first thing is definitely like just researching that person, kind of figure out what they have going on. But it's been plenty of times where I've gotten a call an hour before, hey, Tenai, can you come do this interview? And I'm like,
Mhm.
shoot, I know nothing about this person. So in the interview, I'm learning about them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They don't know that, but I'm asking questions. Where did you grow up? Okay, how
Right.
kind of like what you're doing to learn more, but
Yeah.
just know who you're talking to.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if you interviewed him or not. I think you did. I at least didn't see the video of it. But excuse me, my favorite football player of all time, Michael Vick. I saw he
Yeah, I
was in the
did. I
vicinity with
interviewed him.
Yeah.
He
How's
had
that?
a camp here. This was a couple years ago. When I tell
Mhm.
you, I had a tan for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I ain't never had a tan that long, but that shows you how long I was out there in the sun with them. It had to be like 7 straight hours. But it was such a good experience because he was so down to earth. Like he pulled up a chair right beside me and we literally just chatted up like maybe 4 hours straight.
Mm.
He would get up, you know, do some plays, whatever, come back, sit back down, talk. It was really, really cool. But he's a dope person. Shout out to Mike.
That's what's up. What was like the biggest takeaway you gained from the interview with him that maybe a lot of people don't know?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think his resilience, like we
Mhm.
talked about him bouncing back,
Mhm.
and he pretty much just talked about like, you know, just keep going.
Mhm.
Like I think that was the biggest thing for me, just to see where he was at, you know,
Mhm.
with all of the trouble he got in,
Yeah.
and then how he bounced back. Like
Yeah.
it was an incredible story. So that was big for me.
Yeah.
To really ask him about that.
Yeah, it's admirable like what he went through and his resilience, like you
is.
said. And he's my favorite football player because when I was in 10th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I got locked up. I got arrested, charged as an adult for armed robbery, first degree assault, second degree
Wow.
assault, but for something I
You
didn't
was
do.
out there, huh?
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do
I
it.
didn't do it. I matched the description.
Oh.
Black male, dark clothes. Plus, I had a ski mask. The person that did it wore a ski mask. But in the DMV
Okay.
in like 2010 through like 2009 through like 2012,
Mhm.
everyone in the DMV wore a ski mask. We would roll it up. Like that was like a thing we did.
Okay.
So I got locked up for that, and I was quarterback for my school.
Mm.
So right when that happens, Michael Vick, he gets out of jail and he comes to the Eagles, which is my team.
Mhm.
So I was like a personal type thing. Plus, I went from number 11 to number 7. Like I thought I wasn't going to play football in high school again. Ended up going through like a whole thing with the court system for a year.
Mhm.
I, get off house arrest. I'm able to play football my junior year, and I
That's
come back
crazy.
as quarterback. So like my team, they called me LV for Little Vic. I wasn't fast like you know what I mean, but I was nice
Yeah.
with throwing a rock. And then Vic is on my team, so it was like real, like I like that solidified. Okay, this is my favorite player right here. Like I really felt that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was
That's
dope.
a story.
Yeah. So Meet to Marry. You're
Mhm.
currently the host of that.
Mhm.
If you could just break down what that is a little bit exactly.
Yeah, so I hosted the reunion show. The good thing about it is they're shooting season 2.
Okay, nice.
So I will more than likely be hosting that as well. But it's a really, really, really cool thing that they have going on. Mingo and his wife, they pretty much structured this show that's kind of like that. I'm into dating shows, right? So I watch all of them, and they're very similar to that, where you pretty much have options. So what they do is they have a main contestant, and then they bring on 3 options.
Okay.
Go through questionnaires for each one. And then that main contestant eliminates, and then chooses one. However, that person has to also choose them back.
Okay.
So it was a heavy season 1 because the behind the scenes, I think, is really what kind of got messy, because a lot of these men weren't calling. They weren't taking these women out on dates. They made it look good for the camera. But then afterwards, where the real work comes in, a lot of them were dropping the ball. So very interesting.
All right. So there's actually work behind the cameras. I didn't know that. I thought like everything happens on camera, and that's kind of like, the main portion of what goes on.
That's just the initial. Hey, we let y'all meet. You choose who you want. But then after that, you're on your own. Go date.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the person they choose.
Yeah. So you actually have to date after that.
Yeah.
You chose a person to date. But what happened was, a lot of times after the cameras stopped, they didn't really reach out.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I'll be honest. If I can just put this out here, I think
do.
the dating game in Charlotte is weird anyways. So that could have something to do with it in general, that a lot of men in Charlotte don't really know how to date in court anymore. It's like they may do one date and then it's house dates after that. Or, a lot of men don't really know how to date anymore. They text all day. Like, no, pick up the phone and have a conversation. Set up a date.
Yeah.
So I have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I've talked to men in the past and they're asking me questions about the date. Like, no, you set it up. Like, So
some great points right here, gentlemen.
Yes.
And I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say, you said the texting part. I absolutely fucking hate texting.
Really?
Yes. Like, well, I hate texting on these are some type questions we either ask in person or at worst on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like, don't be asking me how many siblings I got and where I grew. No,
it's too much.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I can answer through text, but I'm a in-person energy type person.
Right.
That's why I like doing my podcast in person. I don't like doing the virtuals and all that. So I just think questions like that, getting to know somebody.
That's true.
Don't text me that. Like, let's at the worst FaceTime or on the phone, like you said.
I love a good FaceTime.
Yeah, like,
but it's the energy and it's building. I can't really build with you if you texting me all day.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
All right, so you said we're gonna get back to Meet to Marry, but let's talk about dating in Charlotte. You said dating in Charlotte is weird, for a better term. Okay, so you said guys don't know how to, you said, date or court. So according to Tenai, this is the Tenai show take right here. According to Tenai, what are the proper ways that a guy should date and court a woman he's interested in?
So you ask.
Let's talk about it.
No, seriously though. So what I personally like, I like a man to be in charge, right? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm the man and the woman. Like, take control. Like, you can ask for my input, but set up a date. Like, it's really cool. I love a dude that'll send like your invitation to dinner or something. You have to accept it. Like, little cute stuff like that, but just take initiative. I'm not saying like you gotta go crazy, but again, pick up the phone and call. Like, if you have to text me during the day because everybody's working, cool.
Yeah.
But make sure you're not texting me at night as well.
Right.
Pick up the phone, call me. Set up a date and just act interested. Like, let me know you're interested, you know?
So if a guy doesn't go down that route, do you take it as he's not interested, or do you take it as maybe he's used to it being easier? Well, it only takes one date, and like you said, it's house dates right after that.
Oh, I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think that a lot of men are just used to the lazy dating, which is, I'll take her out once or twice and then I'm gonna try and get
chill.
Yeah, like, I think they're just used to that. And men gonna do what you allow. So with me, men know that they have to be a certain way. I'm not stern or anything like that, but they just know you got to come correct when it comes to dating me. So they know, like, I don't do really the house dates too early, or, let's go out, let's do something, let's have fun. This is the other thing too I like to mention. Men think that dating always has to do with just spending a lot of money, right? You can get creative.
Yeah.
Like,
I love me a walk through the trails.
Yes.
Charlotte got all these trails
they
and parks
have
out
a lot
here.
of parks.
I hit these parks up quick.
You can get really
Shit.
creative. Like ice cream is cool.
Yeah.
Going on wine dates.
Yeah.
Wine dates are cool. Vineyards. I love a good vineyard. Like, let's go 45 minutes out to a vineyard. You're not going to spend a lot of money. Like, just get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But at the same time, I mean, dating and being in a relationship, it is going to cost some chicken.
It will.
Like, let's just be honest with it.
will.
But yeah, you don't have to always go all out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a find a way. Shit. All you really need is get somewhere with one thing I love about Charlotte is the skyline, the view. This is one of the best skyline views I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like top 5 in the nation if you ask me.
It's amazing.
Find a spot. I personally know a spot by my crib where it has the perfect shot of the skyline. Set up a nice little picnic there.
There you go. And I mentioned rooftops. Go to a little chill rooftop. They have a new jazz lounge. I like music, like comedy shows. I'm a big comedy head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they're spending money, but I'm just saying, like, they think dinner
date
dates.
Nights.
Yeah, dinner nights is not always just the date. Like, get creative.
Yeah. So my input on dating in Charlotte. I think it's what you make it to be, coming from a man's perspective. Cause we do have control, like we do have control of that situation as far as dating. Like, it's up to us, like you said, like it depends on what we do as far as us applying pressure and coming up with the dates and how much we show we interested in everything. When I am interested in, you know what I mean, it depends. Like, I will say this, the reason why some dudes maybe want to go straight to the home dates, because some women are cool with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Netflix and chill and Tinder era, that really created that. You know what I mean? Like, some are cool with it, but I mean, I don't press that too early. I like to boil the pot personally. I don't like to try to go straight to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what you make of it. If I'm trying, then yeah, it can be cool. But I don't really try hard. I only say that because right now and previous times, like, I gotta be like really focused if I'm trying to go something serious.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to date with a chick and if I want to have a second date with her, that means I really like her.
Exactly.
And that takes, you know what I'm saying? Like, that takes a lot, like, to commit to that. So if I'm really down that lane, then cool, I'm gonna do that. And I've never like went down that lane with intentions and then be bad.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna pick a booger anyway to, you know what I mean, do that with anyway. Like, if I pick that, she has substance. She's a quality shit.
Exactly.
So it's what you make of it. It's what you make of it, I guess.
Yeah, of
but
course.
from a woman's perspective, as far as like the dudes and we control it, I hear a lot that is different for y'all.
Yeah, it's a little different. But I'm not putting everybody in that pot though.
Yeah.
It's just some people.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
I get creative and just show interest.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like,
Yeah. Nah, I definitely get it. So back to the Meet to Marry show. Well, first off, let me ask you, could you do that? Like, not host it, but be on a show like that, like the kind of like blind dating, if you would, type of show?
I could. I'm always open to stuff like that. I'm just really picky, though. That's the only reason why I kind of stay away from stuff like that. But I'm open. I mean, if I can have the choice with 3 different men and be able to really talk and figure out who I can choose, I would do it.
Could you see yourself actually marrying from that? Well, do you want to get married first and foremost?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you see yourself actually getting married from that?
If he's a genuine guy that wants the same things that I want and like we align, I go for it.
Okay. Has anyone gotten married from Meet to Marry before?
So it's a new show. However, There is a couple, I believe, that is pretty close to it.
Okay.
They initially met at like the production side of the show.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I definitely think some genuine connections have been made from the show. So if people again kind of just follow through with that, we don't know what can happen.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, they're filming season 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with season 2.
Okay, that's what's up. And I imagine that the people that come on there actually have intent. They want to get married.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, there's a shift. There's been a shift lately in marriage and children amongst millennials.
It is.
A drastic shift.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's being watered down now.
Yeah.
A lot of people just honestly don't want to get married anymore. And it's a personal choice because I don't want nobody to be married to me that don't want to be married, you know? So it's been a shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's been watered down for sure. But
why do you think that is?
I think it's too much access now. Like, I think social media has just ruined a lot of stuff, to be honest. It's so many options out there now that a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, like it's like they in a candy store, it's so many options. Plus, to be honest too, people younger are having kids. So the viewpoint of marriage now is not there a lot for people like it used to be growing up, where we saw parents and people staying together for a long time. Now these millennials, you do something, they done, they divorced, they out, so
everyone's getting divorced.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting divorced. So, and it's nothing wrong with that if it's not working, but again, they're seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I just ain't gonna get married.
Right, yeah.
If it's gonna be like that.
Oh, from a man's perspective, I can tell you that definitely has an influence on it. The divorce rate and, well, just in general, I'll say this from a man's perspective, the government involved, the judicial system involvement with marriage definitely scares away men.
I get that.
For 2 reasons, whether it's marriage or with kids.
Yeah.
It's in favor to kind of fuck us, if you would. With the marriage, divorce, you can, of course, nobody's going to go into a marriage making what Jeff Bezos made. But just for example, Jeff Bezos, Dr. Dre, and a lot of people that maybe make whatever, 6 figures, whatever, can build something on their own as a man.
Right.
Get married, and she's taking at least half of that.
it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then he may have to pay, what is it called, alimony on top of that, on top of child support. Like,
they get hit hard.
Yeah.
I get it all day.
Yeah.
I always said I get that.
So a man seeing that shit is scary. And then with the kids, with the child support, listen, I got cousins and friends that are going through it. You know what I mean? Can't see their child because their baby mother don't, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be with their baby mother, or their baby mother doesn't like them, so they use the child, what they call it, as a pawn.
It's a pawn, yeah, they do.
It's nasty, so that definitely has a big influence from a man's perspective.
And I get that.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing to say against that. Like, I do see that. But I always tell people, that's why prenups exist too. Don't be afraid of prenups, because a lot of people run from them, but they can be set up exactly how you want them to.
Yeah.
There's no black and white with a prenup.
Right.
So, I always encourage men, if you are scared of marriage and you want it, just do a prenup.
Yeah. So you'd be cool with signing a prenup?
I'll be okay with it, because what I would probably put in it is what I came into the marriage with is mine, and then whatever we create in the marriage is ours.
Split.
It makes sense.
Easy.
So I don't have to get half of your stuff or whatever. But if we created this business, then it's half.
Yeah.
And I may put, just depending on whatever else we agree on, if I have kids, maybe I would say something like, if I have a majority of the kids, you may contribute, whatever.
Yeah.
But we would structure it to where it would make sense for everybody.
Yeah. And I also saw a divorce attorney. He kind of mentioned how like prenups can be an intimate moment, if you will, because that's something that's a heavy discussion y'all have to have. So that can kind of be something like, that's a discussion y'all have on that level. That's like, okay, that can be good on building that trust and communication with y'all.
I agree.
First and foremost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It ain't a bad thing.
Nah, I'm definitely on board with that as well.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't know if I want to get married.
Okay.
I've thought of different scenarios, but let's say a scenario where I build something for myself and then
Mhm.
decide to get married, I for sure would want the prenup signed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if I even want to go
You
down
be
that
like,
road.
yeah, nah, that's mine.
Yeah.
I get it though. Protect yourself at the end of the day. I mean, of
Mhm.
course, you don't want to go in a marriage thinking it's gonna end, but it's still a business deal. So
Thank you for saying that
It
because
is.
I had shout out Breezy, my dog Breezy on,
Mhm.
and he said that. He was like, he don't want to get married because it's a business.
Mhm.
And man, and he, went into, he was like, if I love you, I love you. This paper ain't gonna say. And the amount of women that was coming for him after saying that,
Yeah.
and yeah, they did not like him saying that shit.
Cause it sounds so rude and
Yeah.
disrespectful, but at the end of the day, I just think the older I get, the wiser I get too. It
Mhm.
is definitely a business.
Yeah.
Think about it. Everything you do has their name on it, and it's a
Yep.
business.
Yep.
You can't do nothing without the other one. That's a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So you don't have to run it like a business, but at the end of the day, on paper, it's a business.
1000%.
You got to be smart about it.
Yeah. I
You
always
know?
say, as a man, a woman is either gonna be your greatest asset or greatest liability.
That's it.
And with the marriage, I mean, that's case in point right there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. I was talking to my homegirl on Friday night, and we had a real good discussion about marriage and that whole ordeal, because she's in her late 20s and she's like, yo, like, men don't want to commit to nothing as far as like marriage. And and I hear from a lot of women, she wants to be with somebody. Like, she tired of being lonely out
Yeah.
here, but it seems like everybody for the street, she say, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And dudes don't want to get married. Let me ask you this. Say you find your soulmate, right?
Mhm.
You want to get married. You said that earlier.
I do.
You find your soulmate. I mean, this dude is perfect. But he says he wants to be with you forever,
Mhm.
if willing. But he doesn't necessarily want to get married. Are you staying? He just wants to be a life partner, if you would. What are you doing? Are you staying or are you leaving with that?
That's tough because I know my ultimate goal
Mhm.
is to be married.
Mhm.
So that would be very hard for me to stay. It really would. I would really peel back layers on why, because I'll be honest, I've recently had conversations with people on why they didn't want to get, and kind of just talking to you, like peel back the layers on
Right.
why, because you may uncover something that you didn't know that they could get educated on too.
Mhm.
Some people don't even realize you can do prenups again to your own liking. Some people think prenups are black and white. They're
Mhm.
not. So again, that may be something that he could be privy to be like, you know what, I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
So what are you nervous about when it comes to marriage? He may say, well, if we divorce, you're going to take all my stuff. No, I won't, because we're going to set up this prenup. What's next? What else are you nervous about? You know?
Yeah, that's too easy though. He
Peel
knows
it back.
he knows about all that. He knows about prenups. Whatever
Well,
it
then
is.
I probably won't stay.
You won't?
I
So-
mean, I can love him to death, but if you don't want to get married, there's no benefit in this for me personally, because the highest level of commitment you can give somebody is marriage, and that's my personal opinion.
Mhm.
So if you're not giving me marriage, I'm still your girlfriend at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Think about it. You can make it sound as good as
Life
you
partner.
want.
He says you're his life partner.
F that. F that. Life partner my ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still your girlfriend at the end of the day. And so I want to be somebody's wife, you know? And it's like, again, if something was to happen, I can't even make decisions on your behalf because I'm your girlfriend. I'm not your wife. Think about stuff like that too. Like, you know? So I think long term, but again, I would say, you know, no love lost, but if you don't want to get married, I don't have nothing for you, because that's my ultimate goal.
Okay, so he understands that. And the reason I'm even asking is because I think this is going to get brought up a lot as time goes on, because so many men less and less want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm asking this first and foremost. But he says, okay, I hear you, but what's the difference if we're going to be together? Because let's call it how it is. Say you say no. I mean, like I said, this is the man of your dreams tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So you either risk not marrying anybody after, or marrying somebody that you don't feel as strongly towards him with the love. You may still have feelings for him even if you move on and marry somebody else.
Right.
So the marriage, okay, you got the marriage, but you may not be as happy with that person as you was with him. Like I said, this dude, like,
that's
like,
a good
this
point.
is who,
I think honestly that'll be a personal. You're gonna have to do some soul searching. I'll be honest, because if I was put in that position, I probably would have to do some soul searching to really assess those questions you just asked. Like, do I really want to let him go? You know, he's everything I've been wanting, but he doesn't want marriage. Or I have this guy over here that really wants to marry me, and I like him, but I'm not in love with him like the other guy. So I would have to do some soul searching.
That's
I really
tough choice,
would.
right?
It's a tough choice, but I just know you have to be. So I've always noticed this, even with dating, and it always happens. The one thing that you're always kind of like on the fence about, the red flag, is always the reason why you leave. I've always noticed that. So if you go into something with somebody and it's like, they do this and I really don't like it, I've always noticed that's normally the reason why people leave, is that red flag.
Yeah, because that's always going to be in the back of their mind. And even if it shows up a little bit, they're going to blow it up a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even with people having kids, that's a biggie. You go into a situation with somebody saying, I really don't want kids, and somebody sticks around. 10 years later, it's still coming up. It never went away.
Yeah.
You knew this 10 years ago, I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
And now you're breaking up with me because I don't want kids.
And you know what? Something recently like that actually happened with me. And I think women believe they can truly convince a man down the road, even after we give the answer with something. And like with mine, it was, fuck it, she don't watch the show. Mine, it was, I was talking to this girl and she wanted me to go with her on a trip for Christmas to Florida with her and her family. And I told her nah, because I was working weeks on weeks in. And the Christmas break was my first break to work on the brand, revamp. I needed a new car at the time. I just put $1,500 in my old car. Like, I needed to save up and I needed that time. She asked me months ago. I said, nah, I'm a pass. As time went on, she kept asking and asking. It got to the point where right before she left, she was like, yo, why aren't you going? You can even pull up for a day. I'm like, yo, I told you months ago I wasn't. Long story short, that led to something else. We don't even talk no more. Dang. And that's what sparked it.
But it was something that came up a long time ago. I was just talking to somebody about this too. We cannot change men.
Nah.
Men will tell us what we want to hear, but a lot of times we think we can shift the answer or change it. Just listen.
Especially y'all think putting that thing on us too.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some dudes that it can do that for, but I done been around the block a few times.
It's gonna come back around.
I'm disciplined with mine. Yeah. I'm sexually disciplined. Like, you're not about to fuck a different answer out of me. She tried that. I ain't gonna lie. She tried that.
It didn't work.
Nah. Like, even during, like, she was riding me and she was like, you coming da-da-da-da-da, you coming to da-da-da-da, so we could do this here, there on the counter when we get there.
Oh, she thought that was gone.
Yo.
Dang. Yeah, that don't do it.
See, that's why I'm abstinent now. I'm disciplined with mine.
That's good.
You're not about to fuck a persuade out of me. Nah, that's not happening.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Because a lot of men ain't like that. He would have been like, yeah, F it, I'm going.
Oh, I know plenty. I know plenty of my friends that would have been on that flight. There. Hell nah, bro. It was close. I ain't gonna lie. It was close. It was close because she do this thing, but
well, at least you admitted it.
Yeah, she know how to grip. Her joint know how to grip. So it was close. It was definitely close.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but that's a definitely a real thing as far as trying to convince. And as far as what the dude said, he doesn't want to get married. Let me ask you another thing involving that. Besides the points you laid out with if it's something I have to make a decision on my behalf, is there another reason why women, like, they don't want to be a girlfriend, they want to be a wife? Outside of the legal system, what's another reason or reasons from a woman?
Well, to me, again, that's the highest level of commitment. Okay. So that's why I personally want to be a wife. It's the highest level of commitment. And I feel like there is a, I don't want to say like I got you locked in, because that sounds so bad and it kind of goes against why men don't want to get married. But in a good way, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have this commitment that we know we're standing on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I feel secure when I go out every day. Like, it's a sense of security for me.
But he's your man. Why is that security not there as his man?
Because
or as your man?
A girlfriend, boyfriend, you can change your mind tomorrow.
Life partner, Tenai. Life partner.
I'm not using that life partner. I'm not doing that. You are not going to make it sound good.
Y'all can even have rings if you want. Well, no, that kind of
Some
defeats the purpose.
play rings.
That kind of defeats
with
the purpose.
without the commitment behind it. No, sir.
Yeah, that defeats the purpose. But his thing is, from a man's perspective, is you get all of that.
It don't matter.
You still get everything.
You making it sound good though.
Yeah, because like I said, my theory is this is going to be happening a lot within the next 10, 20
No, it
years
is.
or
It's
so.
happening now.
Yeah.
But again, just so you know, if you want to be with Tenai, you're gonna have to think about marriage. And I'm not saying that I have a timeline, but you're gonna have to make sure it's in the cards for you, or I will be out. I'm not sticking around for 4 and 5 years. I'm too old for that to wait on you to say you want to be married, because at that point you're playing.
So what do you think is like a good timeline for dating to engagement?
That's a good question, because I've seen my manager, she got engaged in 6 months.
Okay.
Actually, she got engaged in a month, and I believe she was married in 6 months. They've been together almost 20-something years. Happy.
Damn.
Yeah. It's no timeline. It is no. I used to be this, it need to be a year, you need to be 2 years. I'm 35 years old. Like,
really?
Listen, yes, I'm not getting.
The same age.
Yeah.
I'm 30.
Oh. Yeah, I'm 35. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not getting no younger. But again, I'm not saying I'm rushing it. But if I know it's right, I know we're aligned, we have the same goals, everything makes sense. Like, I'm for it. I'm game. Let's do this together.
But would you still? I mean, I imagine you still want to see that other side of that person that comes out a little later, comes out behind the scenes.
That representative, yeah. I would say maybe like a year, if I had to say like a minimum.
Okay.
Probably a year. And this is based off of us spending time together, not like us seeing each other once every other month or nothing like that. Like, actually spending time, like probably a year.
Yeah, I think 1 to 2, maybe 1 to 3 is good for me personally. Anything after 3, he bullshitting. If she put it out there that she wants marriage.
Yeah, he playing.
Which is good that you did off the gate. You said 3 or 4 times, you looked in the camera and said, Tenai wants to be married, which is good, because some women either don't say that or they'll say that and the dude says, I don't want marriage, and goes back to what we were talking about. She thinks she can convince that out of him.
No. Yeah. Put it out there up front, and if it scares him, he didn't want it no way.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make me nervous to scare him away.
Yeah, I see that a lot with the convincing stage, like where out the gate, first, second date, they lay it on the table. I want marriage, I don't want marriage. Okay, I know I can convince this dude. Her thinking, I know I can convince this dude to get married. Then she'd be surprised as to why she wasted 4 or 5 years of her life with him.
Exactly, because he told you that at the beginning stages. You didn't want to listen. So
have you ever tried convincing?
Yeah, in my younger years. That's why I said the older I get, the wiser I am, because I see it now. Like, it won't work.
Right.
It does not matter what you do, how you do. It don't matter. You're not convincing that man unless he wants that or he wants to change. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because we know, like, we're stern on what we want and what we know and what we want. Now, we may, play along if she gives us the controller. That's just being honest.
Do what you allow. That phrase is so real.
Yeah. What about you said 1 year shacking up before marriage? Yay or nay?
For me personally, I don't really like it. I've done it, but it was like 6 months, something. It didn't last. But I'm not big on it because I want the excitement. That's just my personal reason why. Like, I want the newness of, like, let's say we get married. We've already been shacking for 2 years. When we get married, it's nothing like, it's nothing new. Like, when I get married, I want it to be like, this is our new house together. This is our new life. This is everything. We're walking into a new door. So, but
go ahead.
I was going to say, shacking up can also reveal some things before marriage.
That's what I was going to say. You said nothing new. That could be good or bad.
Yeah, it's a give and take with it, but I'm big on spending the night, though. So even though you're not going to see everything, I am big on, like, it's Saturday, so come here all day. Let's spend time. But I'm doing that on purpose because I want to see how you are around you with long periods of time.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. As far as shacking up, again, I don't know if I want to get married, but I'm just, for today's sake, hypothetically, I want to get married. That's what I'm speaking of.
Okay.
At least hella sleepovers. I mean, hella sleepovers, spending time in multiple days, because I don't know if everybody think like this, but me, I can get tired of somebody quick. So if it's been 2 or 3 days and I'm kind of in that like, all right, I'm kind of like tired of it. It says a lot on how I treat her after that.
Right.
Like
yeah.
if I can kind of put it like, okay, cool, it's whatever, and we still thugging it, we chilling, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it is.
But if I'm like, yo, all right, it's been 3 days, I don't really bang with shorty like that, then that's gonna say a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's why I said, I mean, even if you don't shack up, I definitely think spend hella time together.
Yeah.
Because I need
Mini
to
shack.
see some.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see some. I need to see, do you snore? You know, do your shit stink? I mean, everything. Like, I need to see it all.
Well, let's talk about those two. A guy that snores.
Ugh,
You cool with that?
that's tough for me.
Yeah.
I've had some major snores in my life, and I can't sleep.
Do you snore?
I don't.
How you know?
I don't think I do. I
See,
mean, I
you
haven't
don't know.
had
You
people
might
tell me
snore.
I do.
I ain't gonna tell you.
Well, I had one person say you snored a little bit last night, but I normally notice it like if I'm sick or something like that. Like I
Okay.
can't breathe, my nose. But I've asked people like, do I snore? And they be like, not really. I mean, I've had a guy like, you sleep kind of loud, like if you're in a deep sleep, like I said like snoring. He's like, no, not snoring, just like deep sleep.
You talk in your sleep?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I haven't never heard that before.
I be talking like shit in my sleep, like to the
Who
point
you
where
be talking to?
my dreams, I guess, it wakes me up because it be my dream, and I'm responding to whoever I'm talking to in my dream, but I say it, and
You fighting them demons in your sleep.
it
That's
wakes
what
me
that
up.
is.
But it don't be nothing crazy. It be regular convos. I probably do be fighting though.
You be fighting them demons.
All my life I had to fight.
There you go. But snoring is cool, but
Uh-huh.
because I know men, it's a man thing majority of the time, but oh Lord, send me somebody that don't snore.
Yeah.
That's my prayer.
Would that be a deal breaker? Everything else was
Probably
cool with he
not.
snores. Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, they got mouth guards. I think it's beds that sit up that help with
Yeah,
snoring.
it
It's all
is.
type of stuff.
And they got other rooms too.
Well, okay. Would you be cool with that?
I would. As long
Married?
as we in the house together and I
Yeah.
know where you at,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I actually hear that like kind of often from women where they say they're cool with being married and shacked up but having different rooms.
Oh, that's very normal.
Yeah.
I know somebody right now that they don't sleep in the same room as their boyfriend because he snores too. So
Well, I mean, not
it's
even because of the
normal.
snoring, just because maybe like that just adds a little space. I mean, because you gotta think about it. Living with somebody, that's spending a lot of time with
It
that person,
is.
unless y'all work all day, every day. But
Mhm.
we saw what happened during COVID. Divorce rates went through the
It
roof.
went crazy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people were like, yo, get out of my fucking face,
Yeah.
move. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it went crazy.
Yeah, so I personally think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Like for separate rooms.
Like I said, I know you're in the house, so
Yeah.
I mean that's not gonna bother me. Like
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Cause I'll be honest, I actually like my space anyways in the
Mhm.
bed.
Mhm.
Like that would not bother me at all.
Mm.
Like one bit. I'll see you in the morning, boo.
Do you
Good
move
night.
around in your sleep?
Not a lot. I'm a side sleeper, so I like
So you stay
sleeping
there.
on
Okay,
my
you
side.
sound like
Yeah.
someone that's just bland, just straight to just
I'm
lays there when they
not
sleep.
though, but it's like I used to be wild. I'm not gonna lie. I kick you, hit you in the face, everything.
Oh, that's subconscious. You don't really like that person then for real.
I'm beating their ass when
Yeah.
they sleep.
That's what subconsciously you really want to
For
do.
real though,
Yeah,
beating
yeah.
their ass. But the
Uh-huh.
older I got, I've gotten a little bit more calm.
Okay.
So if I know somebody in the bed with me, subconsciously I know how to stay
Yeah.
put.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
don't
okay with that.
Yeah, I don't get into a deep sleep if I'm sleeping with somebody.
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, hell yeah. But at the
Yeah,
same
I'm like
time,
that.
I'm a light sleeper, but I can get into a deep sleep.
Mhm.
Like if I'm in a deep sleep and somebody come in my room or someone in the whatever, or my dog, if she walks
Yeah.
into my room, I'm waking
I'm gonna
up.
wake up
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, but nah, like don't be snatching. Y'all love snatching them covers from us. Or scooting us all the way to
You
the
got
edge
that
of the
little
bed.
bit of room at the end of the bed. Yeah. That's all you need. You just
Get
need a
the
little
fuck
bit.
outta here.
That's
I-
all you need.
I'll wake your ass up quick. Yo, move.
See, that's why I told you I'm good with the other room.
Yeah.
Eliminate all of that.
Nah, seriously, me too. You mentioned kids earlier. Dating men with kids. What's your take on that?
I've been there. I prefer not to at this age, but if they have to have someone,
Just one kid.
yeah,
What if he has two?
it's pushing it for me
From
now.
the same woman.
It's still pushing it for me
Yeah.
now.
Why is that?
Time is limited. I'm very selfish with my time when it comes to early dating.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like you're already having to like split that time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking it. And I feel like I can be selfish because I don't have any. You know, sometimes people look down upon it. Like, I can do that though. Like I can choose that. I can be selfish and say I don't want that. And, you know, at this age, I really kind of only want one. Like as far as dating a man with only one. So yeah.
Well, first off, let me start by saying that is not selfish. I think it's selfish for people with kids to have that mindset. Like to get upset with someone having a preference who doesn't have kids.
Exactly.
I think that's just what is it? What's that word? Like reflecting, I
Mhm.
think is the term. Like when they showing how they really feel. Maybe they don't like
Exactly.
the person they have kids with or whatever, so it's coming out. I think
Mhm.
that's very selfish.
Very much.
Like to see that shit, like that's insane to me.
It
Like
is.
how
I've ran across it, believe it or not, though. I'm like, I can be selfish. I have 0 kids right now.
yeah, run across what? Like what was the combo?
Just kind of like they didn't call me selfish, but it's almost like, you know, how you gon' I forgot the
Mhm.
word he used. How you gonna judge? I'm like, I'm not judging you. I just
Mhm.
am choosing
Right.
to not be in that space. Like
Yeah.
you got 2 kids, which means, you know, this one got this one day, this one got this
Mhm.
one day. You've had to cancel a date on me before. Like I don't have to deal with that.
Okay. So
You know?
that's interesting to hear. That's your from a woman. The perspective is like the time aspect.
Mhm.
I usually hear they don't want the baby mama drama, but
That too.
yeah, but the time aspect that's actually a good take.
Mhm.
So for me, from a man's perspective, you know, we wanna build our legacy. Usually, when we
Mhm.
prefer to not deal with a woman that has kids, if we don't personally, it's because we want to build that legacy from
Right.
scratch. We want that to
Yeah.
be our own. You know what I'm saying? And if we come into a situation with a woman with kids or a kid, then like we're adding to a half legacy of somebody else with ours as well.
Exactly.
On top of that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean it's all subjective, but yeah, me personally, I would prefer no kids also. I used to
Mhm.
say I wouldn't mind a kid or two, and saying that, I literally manifested a situation
Dang.
like that. And so from here on out, I'm saying nah, I prefer
Yeah,
no
and
kid.
again, that's your preference.
Yeah.
And you can be selfish
Oh yeah.
because you
Oh
don't
yeah.
have any.
I wish someone would try to come for me for saying that.
Yeah, bully
Absolutely
you
not.
into taking on they 2, 3 kids. No, sir.
Okay, so I saw a video clip recently during the pop the balloon thing
Mhm.
where a woman popped her balloon because a dude that was in his 30s didn't have kids.
That's
She
silly.
she saw that as a red flag.
That's crazy.
Yeah? What's your take on that?
So crazy.
Um,
She probably missed out on her blessing. Now that's crazy. That I don't understand the thought process. That
mm,
man could have issues with his sperm. I mean, you
mhm,
don't know the background.
right.
I think people forget about those other aspects of why people don't have
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
You know, it could be a sperm problem. It could be, you know, he was safe using
Mhm,
condoms throughout his whole journey of, you
yeah.
know, it could be so many reasons why he don't have kids.
Mind you, she had a kid or
Oh,
kids.
but see that
She
she was
had children.
projecting.
Yeah.
That tell
She
you right there.
she had children. She thought his situation was weird, but hers
But she
wasn't.
didn't.
That
She
was
didn't think hers was weird. She was projecting. That's what that was. But
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. I don't even have no words for that. That's
Mhm,
crazy. But she was projecting because she wanted somebody to be in the same position as her. So
mhm.
because she, like you said earlier, because she probably wish she probably could redo it or
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
now like she's looking upon them in a certain way, like you don't have no kids.
Yeah, it was crazy, and some women in the comments even agreed. Even the chick that popped the balloon after she described, she's like, "Well, after she spoke, it made sense." I was like, "Y'all are both of some birds."
Yeah,
Has
airheads.
a guy ever like questioned and maybe looked at it different or weird as to why you don't have any kids?
Yeah, I mean, we get that all the time. I have
Mhm.
a couple friends that don't have kids too, and they'll be like, "You don't have kids?" I'll be like,
Mhm.
"You do?" Like, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
same thing, just reverse. They
Yeah.
look at like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "You
Mhm.
mean I've been smart and half luck? I ain't gonna
Mhm.
lie,
Yeah.
half
Oh yeah,
lucky,
you have
and
shit.
yeah,
Listen,
half lucky."
that
Um,
sometimes pre-cum will, yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you. So, but I always be like, "Thank God I didn't with those people."
Man,
You know, when
what?
I look back.
Dodged a bullet.
But
Woo.
yeah, I'm like, thank God I didn't for sure. Right, exactly. But yeah, they do ask questions, but again, I always have to educate them, like, you should be praising that I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, what
It's
about
crazy.
the take? And as a man, I've done this a few times where we'll see an attractive, beautiful woman in her 30s, no kids, no wedding ring, nothing, and question it.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a red flag, if you would, like,
Mhm.
because we see it as okay, it's something wrong with her
Right.
mentally. If we see a woman in her 30s, no, we tend to do that sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But do women do the same thing for men? And also, as far as men doing it towards women, like as a woman, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's happened to you.
Mhm.
Like, what's your take on that? Like, how do you feel towards that?
Well, I always tell people, a man got to ask a woman to be married, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they forget that part. So maybe she just hasn't met any men that were serious enough.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to our subject of maybe she hasn't met any men that have wanted to be married. You don't know what her dating situation is. We cannot marry ourselves.
Typically, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
Mhm.
Typically, I will say with women that go through that, if you ask them, they've been proposed to at least once or twice. Have you ever been
Not
proposed to?
all. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I've gotten close though. Like one of my exes, he was looking at rings and we just didn't make it. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I think it's all situational. I
Yeah.
just don't think it's black and white anymore.
Nah.
I think it's situational now. And again, I think people, well, in my case, I'm very picky.
Mhm.
So again, if you don't think I could be married by now or you don't think I could be in a relationship, you're crazy, right? Of course I could be.
Yeah, I was
But
saying we could pick up our phone
yeah,
right
of course I
now.
could
Yeah,
be. I
man.
could be probably in 10 marriages right now.
Talk
But
about it.
again, it's I'm picky. I'm looking for a specific type of vibe and person that wants what I want and all of that. So
Well, let's bring it all together with this then, Tenai. You said you're picky. You could be married and engaged right now. You
Mhm.
said you're picky. So lay out, I know it's not one perfect specimen, but
yeah.
lay out the type of dude that could win your hand in marriage.
It's a good question. And it's not a one size fits
Yeah,
all.
I understand that. Yeah.
But I like a man that is about his business. That's really big for me. Like a go-getter, that's very attractive for me. But somebody honestly that is just on the same wave as me, like same personality, funny, like to have a good time, family oriented, of course, nice looking, good values. I'm very big on that, like how you treat people and again, I think the business mind is very big for me. Like my friends even say, like, if you ain't got nothing going on today, probably not gonna vibe with you.
Yeah.
Like it's bigger than just the looks and the money and all that. It's like, what does your business sense look like? Because I
Okay.
want to be able to like build with my man and my husband and all of
Yeah.
that. Like I'm big on that.
Got you.
So, what does your business mind look like?
Okay. It's a good answer. Now, you know some of them may actually be in your DMs, so you got to start opening to some. I know they stacking up. I know you probably get like 50 a day, but I mean, you never know it. That one might be a good one.
He might be, but a lot of those DMs I look at, the physical is not there for me.
Yeah, you
and
did say
that's what
that.
I might be a lot picky on, I'll be honest.
I mean, men and women are. Like, I mean, everyone knows men
Yeah.
are visual creatures, but like,
Exactly.
let's be honest. You know what I mean? Unless you just really, you gotta really got something. Cause I mean, I got some ugly ass homeboys that they got no problem with it,
Yeah.
but they got aura. Like that's why I hang with them. Like our
Right,
energies, you know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got that, I mean, it just is what it is. But I mean, even still, like just as men, just taking care of yourself, like drinking water and going to the gym goes a long
Man, tell me about
way.
it. Oh, and you mentioned something else. A man that is active.
Yeah.
I've left that out, but that's like top 3 for me. Like I like a man that goes to the gym and like work out and all of that. And I don't know what it is. Like a man that I don't know. I'm not attracted to him probably the same way. Like I love active men.
Well, you're an active person yourself, right? Well, there it is.
Yeah.
Like when you're an active person yourself, you understand the benefits behind that. You understand the discipline that goes into that, so you can't allow yourself to be with someone that lacks that.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't be with a chick that doesn't work out, and then they got to be crazy. Could be
Exactly.
3 days a week, but you got to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We attract what we are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
it
like
only makes
that.
sense.
And I like what I like. So, but I have bended a little bit on some of the requirements, but those are probably some of the main ones.
Okay, last question. Out of 10 on your checklist, what's the minimum that a guy could have where you like, okay?
The checklist that I just named?
No, well, say you have a checklist
say
of
it's
10. You have a checklist
probably
of
like
10.
5 and a half, 6, 7, 8. No, just playing.
Actually, you said you're selfish and picky.
Probably
Go-
like 7 of them.
That's what I was ready to say. I think at least 7 for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good, actually. 7 is good.
It is good.
7 is good.
You got a 70%. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, listen, Tenai, thank you for spending this time.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I think we had some great convos around marriage, which is a convo needed because like we said, now it's like it's falling less and less.
Get married, man. Listen, I don't know if you've seen this, but a lot of millionaires and billionaires always mention that wife beside them that has made them a little bit more successful.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and it really is like, because I don't, like, people know that I've never heavily been a relationship type.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't know if I want to get married.
Yeah.
So some people that don't even know me think it's just because I'm just trying to be on some bachelor shit my whole life.
Right.
Am I there right now? Yes. But I wouldn't be surprised if like I find one that's like, yo, it just only makes sense. I think when a man finds that, it's really dope. Like one of my best friends, him and his girl got married. What is it, like 2 years ago now? A year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years. They just had their first baby. They're my favorite couple, even before they were married. But once they got married, it's like, yo, like I like really look at that as like, yo, that's so dope to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it's that, and that's my dog, I can tell that. And I know her. Like, we went to college together. We didn't speak that much in college. We both went to Bowie. But, you know, I've gotten to know her through the years as they've been together. And she's a dope-ass woman.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So I think in instances like that, like where you find that, I'm all for that. Now, I just haven't come across that myself personally yet.
Just keep putting those positive vibes out there.
And that's all it is. Law of attraction.
That's it.
Yeah, law of attraction. So until that time comes, I'm just not sweating it. That's just me.
Of course.
Now, as men, time is on our side when it comes to that, if we're being perfectly honest, after like 30 or whatever. But I'm all for that. So I think some people think that you know what I'm saying, just bash marriage. Yeah. I mean, now I'm in it just because that's by default.
Yeah.
Even though I'm chilling now. Like I said, I'm ducked off right now. But I am all for that if it makes sense and if it's right.
Gotta do what's for you, man. That's it.
Yeah. Well, listen, everyone tuning in, whether you're watching or listening, first and foremost, truly appreciate y'all. This would be nothing without y'all. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe. Share this out as well. On YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those are the main ones. But YouTube especially. Y'all can lean on that. If you're not watching, if you're listening, go over to YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, stay on YouTube. You can go to the podcast if you want, but stay on YouTube for real. Until next time, make sure that y'all stay safe, stay sane, but most importantly, stay blessed. Oh, before I get out of here, Tenai, how can they find you? Even though I'm going to drop everything in the bio.
Yeah, the Tenai Show on Instagram, Facebook. I think it's Tenai S. But yeah, hit me up.
There it is. And like I said, everything is in the bio. I'm pretty sure y'all probably looked it up at this point after seeing her. Like, oh, I got to, try to shoot my shot at her. You never know. Shooters shoot. Shooters shoot. But until next time, make sure that y'all stay blessed or stay safe, stay sane, but most importantly, stay blessed. We out. Peace.